Hey yo, let's talk about Kenji Yamamoto. Brought to you in part by Sensu Beans. I'm joking, this is not a sponsored video. Kenji Yamamoto was a Japanese composer who's most famous for his work on the Dragon Ball Z Budokai video game soundtracks, as well as my least favorite version of Dragon Ball Z Kai, from the years 2009 to 2011. On March 2011, Toei Animation released a statement on their website, publicly acknowledging the existence of multiple suspicious musical pieces found in episodes of Dragon Ball Z Kai. Pieces of music that sounded similar to popular rock songs as well as movie soundtracks. Nobody knows how Toei Animation came to that conclusion, whether they picked up on the similarities themselves or they were aware of the fans picking up on them. The latter is important because the fans also picked up on similarities between many popular songs and some of the pieces he composed for the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. Subsequently, Toei Animation cut ties with Kenji Yamamoto. Toei replaced all of the work that he did on Dragon Ball Z Kai, and many of the work that Kenji Yamamoto did for the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games were also replaced in the game's re-releases. As far as Toei's decision to cut ties with Kenji Yamamoto goes, I can only say that however Kenji's actions were brought to their attention, it does seem kind of weird that they only caught on a few years into their working relationship. And if it's true that his actions were brought to light by way of the fans, then it seems that Toei was really just trying to save face, or throw Kenji under the bus, whichever way you want to spin it. However, as far as Budokai goes,
I do have some thoughts.
First of all, let me start off by saying that I'm not condoning plagiarism in any kind of way. However, if I were to play everybody's favorite role of devil's advocate, in my video game music sample series, I've shown plenty of examples where different video game music composers either sampled, interpolated, was inspired by, or just outright copied popular songs. And yet, Kenji Yamamoto was the one who gets his work replaced. Kenji Yamamoto is the one who's labeled the plagiarist. But you kind of have to understand the practice that Kenji Yamamoto, Masato Nakamura, Yuzo Koshiro, and many others like them partook in. Video game composers have been reimagining and remaking licensed music for video games since 1983 with Journey Escape,
He took the midnight train going anywhere.
It's hard to exactly pinpoint when and exactly which video game incorporated licensed music rather than reimaginings or remade compositions, but up until that point, it seemed like there was a low-key standard when it came to video game music composition. A standard in which, especially due to the technical limitations of that time, may have been a much cheaper option for video game development companies. See where I'm going with this? Kenji Yamamoto hasn't been working since 2011. He wasn't even given the opportunity to speak for himself and maybe say that while others may view his actions as plagiarism in their eyes, to him, he was probably inspired by a lot of these artists to incorporate some of their songs into some of his creations. He could have put himself in the proper context of contributing to an industry that at one time standardized the very thing that he was doing to save money. He could have been one of the ultimate examples of how nothing in art is truly original, and how art is transformative just as much as it is innovative. Maybe he would have been a voice for all the other video game music composers, past, present, and future, to ever be accused of plagiarism. Or maybe his silence was an indicator that he himself was ashamed of his actions, because deep down, he knew what he was doing was wrong.